Welcome back to Scars from the Playground. I want to thank everybody for rocking with me. I really been boot the ground for the last couple weeks because I didn't move to a whole nother area. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. You know what I mean? Give me a little minute to settle in. The show is going tech way. You know what I mean? It's going tech way. You know what I mean? Give me 3 months. Give me 3 months. You'll see how I stunt. Yeah, bro. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the Playground. Let's get into this content. Kendrick Lamar surprised fans with Playboi Carti, and he wasn't wearing his thong, bro. This was in the Atlanta stop of the show, Grand National Tour, at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. He brought them out. They performed. Good credit. Look, I heard the song. It wasn't one of my favorites. I ain't gonna lie. Playboi Carti was better on that song with the weekend, fam. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. That song made me respect that boy. But despite that, look here, fans loved it. They loved it. They say Kendrick Lamar is breaking all type of records. Only 4 days into this tour, he got the highest grossing show, bro. Live show. Last show in Minneapolis made $9.1 billion. 47,000 fans, bro. Look, y'all drop it in the comments. You had to know this was gonna happen, bro. People love him. You know what I mean? Love him. A lot of people ain't even worried about the Drake and the Kendrick beat, bro. You gotta separate yourself and just enjoy the music if you don't. If you do, and don't enjoy it if you don't. But if you're going out, my nigga, you going out to have a good time. Don't fuck it up for everybody else, because they enjoying it, man. Look, he broke the record. Eminem had previously held this record in 2019 in Australia. No mas, no mas. You know what I mean? K-Dot came to get that. And shout out to SZA, bro. SZA. I gotta say that, bro, because she's on a tour too, and a lot of people are going to see her as well. Y'all drop it in the comments. Shout out Duckworth, man. Keep it going. Keep it going. Nigga want to hear what that new music gonna be about, but yeah, I can't knock him. I can't knock him. That boy's selling, and like I said, a nigga knew K-Dot would sell like that, bro. He's up there actually rapping without the backtracks. Cut from the same cloth, but a different nigga. But yeah, shout out him. Scars from the Playground. Y'all drop it in the comments. The marathon continues. Nipsey Hussle jewelry on display at the Smithsonian National Museum. His gold chains with the diamond, Malcolm X pendant, and the all money in piece. Look, it's on display for the world to see, bro. The marathon continues. I remember Brick Baby say, "Oh, if Black Sam don't quit, it's gonna be like the marathon trying to continue." Some shit Brick Baby talking about. Look, his marathon didn't end it. You know, he was seen like he was on a marathon at No Jumper, but that didn't end it. But look here, bro. If you want to see them pieces, it's at the Smithsonian National Museum of American History in Washington, D.C., bro. Look, the marathon continues. This is a big win for Nipsey. I'm afraid they don't love you like they supposed to until you're gone. Drop it in the comments. I don't know. It's like weird. When it comes to art, bro, even the man that did the soup can. Drop it in the comments. What's his name? I can't think of it. But you like these people, their art becomes worth millions AD after death. You know what I mean? I don't know why the world just weird like that. They can't accept what's in front of their face in present time. Got to let it go. Drop it in the comments, bro. But if you want to go see Nipsey Hussle's jury, it's there. You know what I mean? Me personally, yeah, I check it out. I check it out. You know what I mean? I check it out. But it's more like one of them things, bro. If you a fan and you need to feel his presence in some type of way, you go there. Yeah, you go there. Other than that, you stay your ass out of Washington, D.C., because it ain't that motherfucking friendly as people would think. You know what I mean? Drop it in the comments, bro. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. I promise to tell the whole truth, the whole truth, so help me God. You know what I mean? Drop it in the comments, bro. Scars from the Playground. McKnight ordered to pay $1.5 million in his wrongful death civil case. Look, he say he didn't want to cause the family no more pain. He just go ahead and cashing them out so he can just go ahead and get rid of this. It's street people. They get 500,000 a piece. Look, bro, but this say he ain't admitting to nothing now. He said he didn't do nothing wrong. Never would he have done anything wrong. This ain't that. This is just, he feel like he deserved them an apology for what happened that day. But he's not taking any credit for that. But he does have remorse. Y'all drop it in the comments. Look, the widow says, hopefully he gets shanked in that bitch. You know what I mean? Just be honest, bro. She don't want to make it out, but they needed the money. And that's just what we at, bro. 1.5 million is a lot of money because the man shouldn't have never been right there, whether he swung or not. Suge was a victim that night. Drop it in the comments, man. Squash from the playground. Heard from Brian McKnight in a minute, you know what I mean? But when Jaguar Wright came out talking about him, I listened. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. But look here, Brian McKnight suing Jaguar Wright for defamation. He want pain and suffering and all that. Why? He says she fabricated a story about him beating his ex-wife, Julia. What's her name? Julia. I think Julia McKnight. She fabricated. She said that was her cousin. They don't know if she really related. They say she say she was related to Jill Scott too. Look, I don't know. Y'all drop it in the comments. But he said it was all fake. Even though she knew it was fake, she still dragged him for the hell of it, just to make people laugh. On top of that, she said he was paying prostitutes extra money to be able to rough him up, be real Shannon Sharpish with him. Y'all drop it in the comments, man. I can't make this shit up, but the man coming for everything. Whatever she making from them interviews, Brian McKnight wants it. Look, it's going to come down to whether or not Jaguar Wright could prove this. Prove that it happened. You know what I mean? Look, Jaguar Wright, you got to understand, you must say allegedly. You must say allegedly if you the one that start that story. You know what I mean? I ain't never heard it. Drop it in the comments, bro. But Brian McKnight say, bro, he don't care. She got $500 in her pocket, in her wallet, bank account. He wants it. He wants her to feel it. And I don't think Jaguar Wright just got 500. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. She got to be making some money. Look, a blind motherfucker could tell Jaguar Wright got a little money with her. A lot of money with her. Changed a whole lot since I was first introduced to Jaguar Wright. Y'all drop it in the comments, man. Brian McKnight want that. He don't want the smoke. He want that money. Drop it in the comments, fam. Squash from the playground. That's 2 times violated his probation. He came out and said it was over FNG King. Look, everybody already know. You know what I mean? And it might be. You know what I mean? It might be because he had FNG King smoking and gambling and doing all type of shit. You nigga, if you on probation, you ain't supposed to be involved in none of that. On top of that, we got to go with FNG No Love. Always doing all the interviews saying what my brother did, what my brother did. My brother tried to do this, my brother tried to do that. Look, these people sitting behind the camera, bro, and looking at that shit and adding time frames to it. You know what I mean? They're adding time frames to it. He did that. Oh, he was on probation at this time. Look, bro, all they got to do is sound believable. It starts to be like, you're snitching. Yeah, it's called dry snitching, bro. You're snitching without even trying to because you're being a little motherfucking motor mouth and talking way too much. That's what you're doing, bro. You're talking way too much and you getting a nigga in a world of trouble. Now, we're going to see what happened to Finesse 2 times once you go in this. Look, I like Finesse 2 times. Recently, I heard him say a line. I ain't good, I just act happy. Minnie Draco might backpack it. I felt that considering that particular day, I was feeling the exact same fucking way. You know what I mean? It's cause from the playground, man. I just look like this, bro. I go through all type of shit. We all do, bro. But you gotta understand, it's life. Everybody just trying to figure it out. You know, point blank, period. Even the niggas with the most money still trying to figure it out. Why? Money ain't everything. It's just a piece of it. I'm going to say that again, bro. Money is not everything. It's just a piece of it. Shout out BBL Finesse. Shout out BBL Finesse. I'm going to say that. Why? Because like I said, I like him. I like him. He got them words. He got the way with them words. If we being honest, but it's just something about him that just don't stick right for me. But you know, we all allowed our own opinions, bro. Some people be like, well, what gives you the right? You know, bro, you got the right too. You just don't feel like you're worthy. You know what I mean? You don't feel like your opinion matters, so you don't say shit. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. Y'all drop it in the comments. You know what I mean? But Finesse 2 times looked like he headed back in. He looked like he headed back in. He say them people told him it was time to go on come in. Go on come in. Turn yourself in. We got to spank you on your ass a little bit. Belt ass moment for you. Why? Because you entertaining the foolishness, brother. When you just got out of prison, bro, not too long ago, you got out the clanking. As soon as you got out, you were right back to the bullshit, whether you like it or not. And on top of that, they already said a homeboy was fucking Suge. You know what I mean? And we ain't talking about Suge Knight. We talking about Finesse baby mama. You know what I mean? That's why he, what his name, man? That's my boy, man. Fredo Bang. My bad, bro. My bad. If you catch that, my bad, man. I just be running Fredro Star. We got Freddy this, Freddy that, Trap Boy Freddy. But I just forget the Freds. You know what I mean? Rich drop dead Fred. We don't know him. Cause get what? He dropped dead. But anyway, drop it in the comments. But yeah, bro. He going in. Yeah, shit, he going in. Belt ass moment. Cause you can't entertain the foolishness, brother. And like I said, Fredo Bang, he don't like Fredo Bang because Fredo Bang allegedly, y'all know how this thing work. You know what I mean? The other baby wasn't even for him. At least this one is for him, bro. Yeah, his mama has swapped the baby. Cause that don't look like one of mine. That's what she said. That baby don't look like none of us. You know what I mean? She swiped the baby without swiping, no swiping. She swiped the baby without anybody knowing. Went tested that baby, and get what? Wasn't finesses. You know what I mean? When he had the polyamorous relationship popping, thinking he was pimping. Turns out that baby was probably for J. Prince Jr. Most likely, I don't think J. Prince Jr. gonna take the DNA test, but might be for him, bro. Cause allegedly had a big little. You gotta say allegedly, bro. Even when you know something true, just say allegedly. It keeps you out of a world of trouble, bro. But yeah, they had a whole little swingers thing going on around. They all do it, bro. Yeah, they are. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. I don't know what it is, but they got so much money. I heard them say it, bro, with my own ears. You know what I mean? Yeah, seen them say it with my eyes, heard them say it with my ears, bro. I be everywhere. California, New York. I miss the university, bro. Squash on the playground. Do your homework on that. But look here, bro. I heard them say it. They get tired of fucking normal. You know what I mean? They don't want to fuck normal. They don't get tired of. They get tired of fucking normal. They start doing some Shannon Sharpish type of things. You know what I mean? And that's unfortunately that's what we at with that one, bro. Y'all drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground, man. Finesse 2 times, man. Handle your shit, bro. You handle your shit. And what you don't do is entertain that foolishness from them little boys. You know what I mean? First of all, you shouldn't be around them little boys if it ain't your kids. Or who would have let Finesse 2 times adopt a fucking child? Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. You know, I could add all type of footage to this of Finesse 2 times looking like a clown, but I ain't gonna do it. Cause the history speaks for itself, bro. Sometimes you just gotta let that shit breathe and let the people think, bro. Use your own mind, use your own judgments, but don't be like Finesse 2 times, bro. Yeah, but the man got away with words. But that's about it, bro. You gotta separate the music from the man. That's what allows me to say fuck these people. You know what I mean? Fucking. You know what I mean? Fuck him all. You know what I mean? Just being honest. Real shit. Just being real. Y'all drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Lil Durk Pleads for help from the fans. You know, the man need as much help as possible right now. See, he trying to get out on bond. He thought them people wasn't as clever as the lawyers that he got, so he tried to play with them people. Oh, the songs that they chose, they were made before all that this shit popped off. Well, look, bro, all you got to do is listen to look at the comments, read the comments, and the fans gonna give it all up. The fans gonna give it all up. The fans gonna give them a whole timeline and everything, bro. You know what I mean? That's how they pull the rug from under you, bro. Durk Just start doing interviews. Just start doing interviews. Pick DJ Academics. I don't know why. You know what I mean? Maybe it's because he's easy to talk to and he's from Chicago. Drop it in the comments. But when they people see you like that, bro, they get to listening. They get the feeling like you gloating some type of way, even if you're not gloating, even if it's not showing, they gonna put it there. Yeah, they gonna put it there. They turning up the pressure, bro. Now they using lyrics of unreleased songs. You know what I mean? And they gonna use the lyrics to all of it, bro. Shout out Lil Durk. I hope they free that man. Why? Cause he teaching people Arabic. He been trying to change his ways. Pops then got out of jail and put him on the game. But the thing is, bro, sometimes, unfortunately, most of the time, all the time, it's too late once you done already entertained the bullshit and became a part of it, bro. People have died. You know what I mean? I don't know what people don't understand about that because you like his music, you like him as a person, but you got to separate the man from the music. People have died, lives have ended over that situation. So before you say free him, free them, you gotta say rest in peace. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. Y'all drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the play. Joe facing new allegations. Look, the accusations range from pedophilia, uh, rape, statutory rape, sex trafficking, and more, and más, bro. I don't know what else you could add to that list, but a lot of people don't understand, bro. Fat Joe got the keys to the city after New York, after who didn't want him, 50 didn't want him, Cameron didn't want him. They end up giving the Fat Joe. Look, everybody already knew that was bullshit. Why? Ask Kurt Cobain's. We not talking about the rock star. We talking about the Houston rapper, the local Houston rapper that's selling hoodie sets. He fucked him, allegedly, bro. It's been going around, bro. Ask around, bro. Ask around. That man was part of the bullshit with the Diddy gangs for sure, allegedly. So says the hype man. But look, Joe say he just wants some money on. Allegedly, Joe hated on him getting a record deal. He used to be Fat Joe Ghostwriter. He doing all this out of spite. Niggas don't just make this type of shit up for no reason. You know what I mean? Once you start seeing the pedophilia shit, the sex trafficking, statutory rape, you like them young girls, bro. You could try to walk back out of this because it is surprising to most, knowing that you got a special needs kid over there, bro. You would think your heart would have warmed up. Yeah, you would think you had a heart for shit and for people. But unfortunately, nigga, you don't. You don't. You know what I mean? Joe's counter suing. He's suing the man for even saying that shit. But look, bro, we'll see how it end up. It's gonna come down to whether or not the man actually really got some proof out there. But like I said, ask that boy. You know what I mean? Yeah, ask that boy, bro. Kurt Randall, bro, you got some shit to come out and talk about. You and Fat Joe came out of that studio when you met him for the first time, sweating, muscle shirts. Nigga, what was y'all doing back there? Because y'all wasn't in the studio. Everybody was chilling over here, bro. Y'all went to the closet or something, did something, allegedly, bro. Y'all drop it in the comments, because I know a lot of people gonna say I'm making the stories up. He don't know what he talking about. Maybe a lot of people don't even watch this part, but get what? The shit happened, allegedly. Scars from the playground, y'all drop it in the comments. Stephen A. Smith blames Katt Williams for Shannon Sharpe lawsuit. Look, bro, he say Katt Williams went on that show that 55, 70 million streams made him a target. They want to take that big black motherfucker down. Yeah, they want to take that motherfucker down. Look, bro, he said out of his own mouth, big black man chokes lily white women. I'm afraid, you know what I mean? Shannon, look, Katt Williams only said what he knew what would happen because he knows shit that's going on behind the scenes, bro. You're wrong for that. Gabrielle Zuniga was not 19 years old, allegedly, in 2023. In 2025, midway in, she's 20. You know what I mean? Look, bro, something don't add up. He might have met her when she was about 17. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. And a lot of people say, bro, he didn't make her have sex. Look, bro, he forced his way. It was mental, you know what I mean? It was some mental war guard type shit. Let's just be honest, let's just be real. He used that on a young girl when he had a kid around the same age. That is hella fucking creepy, bro. And if that's your motherfucking uncle, you should slap yourself in the mouth for acting like you know that man. You know what I mean? Really, I never even thought Shannon Sharpe wanted no motherfucking pussy. I thought he would run from that motherfucking coochie, but and turns out he don't want it. He was sodomizing. Gabriel Zuniga, get your money. You know what I mean? Yeah, get your money. These niggas gonna say all type of shit. Why? Because in the background, behind the scenes, they doing the same old shit, sodomizing, really want a nigga. You know what I mean? You get no pleasure from treating that thing like that. Let's be honest, let you be real, bro. She screaming, man, come on, bro. Come on, man. The tape flowing around. The tape flowing around, bro. If you anybody, they got the tape. You know what I mean? Yeah, they selling the tape for $59.95. Nigga, I ain't got it. I don't want to see it. Why? I don't want to see that gay ass. I don't want to see no man or forking. You know what I mean? Come on, man. That's, you niggas are weak for that shit. You weak. You know, very weak. I want to see my favorite celebrity forking. Man, get the fuck out of here with that weak ass shit. Scars from the playground, bro. Y'all like, share, subscribe. We going up. It's that way. You know what I mean? It's that way. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's north, bro. Next month, you know what? You'll see all type of things. Like I said, give me 3 months. Give me 3 months, I'm a stunt. You know what I mean? I'm popping. I'm never stopping, bro. Scores from the playground. Drop it in the comments, man. Peace. Sauce Walka artist, Peso, throwing shots at Go Yayo. And I'm going to call him Sauce Walka artist because the man ain't really just got his own name like he think, bro. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. When you see people from that's hanging with Albert start talking like Albert, that's when you start losing the respect for him. Man, you gonna talk about my partner? You gonna talk about my partner? Bro, a nigga didn't even think you talk, bro. Yeah, nigga didn't even think you talk. You just a look, bro. You ain't supposed to talk. Go Yayo wants to talk to the boss. Go Yayo is the boss, bro. Let's just be honest. You know what I mean? Yak Yizzle is the boss. What are he looking like talking to one of the underbosses? That just ain't how it works, bro. It's a chain of command. Peso, bro, stand in the back and wait your turn. Nigga, you do the same thing you said Go Yayo should do. Put out that music, cause a nigga don't know you for no motherfucking music, bro. It ain't no black thing and Mexican thing, nothing like that. But a nigga just don't know that nigga like he think, bro. That's, come on, man. If you wasn't always holding Albert's pocket, a nigga wouldn't even know who you are, bro. So to come out and go yayo this, go yayo that, it has to stop, bro. It has to stop. Like I said, Yak Yizzle ain't gonna waste time on no peso. You know what I mean? Peso, stop. Stop it. Boss man must confirm everything you saying before you say it. Meaning, Albert would have to be right there for you to be able to talk. Don't make no video out there by yourself. Don't do that, bro. That's the same thing the guy Say So P knocked off. We don't know what happened. But him robbing a drug dealer, bro, he ain't got that character. You got to know what it look like to know what it is. I'm going to say that again. You got to know what it look like to know what it is. I'm not saying Albert did that, but I'm saying Albert got that $1 million. You know, I ain't real shit. And Albert been spending that money on his artists, on them artists, to do songs with all type of artists and just be around all type of people. He wasn't doing that before Say So P. Yeah, the man turned up a different notch when he got that milli. Apparently, everything he flexing be the same cash. You know what I mean? The internet gurus be zooming in and seeing the same motherfucking serial numbers. Y'all drop it in the comments, allegedly. Drop it in the comments, bro. Scars from the playground. Like, share, subscribe. Nigga, peace. Trippie Red spotted wearing Fox locks. Fox locks, bro. Look, I knew something was weird because I seen them little knots at his scalp. You know what I mean? Seen them little knots coming from his scalp, and I just said, you know what? That boy trying to have Scars from the playground dreads, and his hair not like that. Yeah, his hair not like that. Well, upon further inspection, I realized, bro, they were Fox locks, bro. This man has been wearing Fox locks the whole time, bro. Look, I don't know what happened to his hair. Let's start there. Allegedly, his shit just fell out from all the dyes and the processors and all that other type of shit. You know what I mean? But look here, bro. Fox fucking locks, man. Stop it. Stop it, my nigga. If you ain't got it, you don't need it, man. Let's just be honest, man. It's time to go with a different look, bro. This nigga hair look like Wayman. You know what I mean? This nigga hair look like Wayman off a low down dirty same. I can't believe this nigga would resort to stitching them hoes in. You know what I mean? It always got a different pattern in the dread. Dread don't work like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, dread don't work like that. Look, y'all drop it in the comments, man. A nigga that had 3 patterns in 3 months. You know what I mean? Real Fox fucking Locs, Trippie Redd, bro. And you worried about who started rage music. Look, I get Trippie Redd that, because a lot of people don't understand Trippie Redd been going for quite some time. Quite some time. You know what I mean? Really, y'all talking about Jesus. That nigga Trippie Redd been out, bro, since he was about 15 years old. He about 32 now. You know what I mean? Trippie Redd probably about 38. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Nigga, y'all drop it in the comments, man. But Fox Locs, homeboy, you gotta stop it. You need to cut it. Yeah, shit. Damn your ass fake. You need to cut it. Real shit, nigga. What the hell is going on, bro? People try too hard to maintain the image, man. Nigga, if you ain't got it, you don't need it. You know what I mean? And if you sew it in, you don't need to keep it in. Cut it. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Trippie Redd, quit that bullshit, fam. You quit that shit, man. Comments, man. Stephen A. Smith blames Katt Williams for Shannon Sharpe lawsuit. Look, bro, he say Katt Williams went on that show that 55, 70 million streams made him a target. They want to take that big black motherfucker down. Yeah, they want to take that motherfucker down. Look, bro, he said out of his own mouth, big black man chokes lily white women. I'm afraid, you know what I mean? Shannon, look, Katt Williams only said what he knew what would happen because he knows shit that's going on behind the scenes, bro. You're wrong for that. Gabrielle Zuniga was not 19 years old, allegedly, in 2023. In 2025, midway in, she's 20. You know what I mean? Look, bro, something don't add up. He might have met her when she was about 17. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. And a lot of people say, bro, he didn't make her have sex. Look, bro, he forced his way. It was mental, you know what I mean? It was some mental war guard type shit. Let's just be honest, let's just be real. He used that on a young girl when he had a kid around the same age. That is hella fucking creepy, bro. And if that's your motherfucking uncle, you should slap yourself in the mouth for acting like you know that man. You know what I mean? Really, I never even thought Shannon Sharpe wanted no motherfucking pussy. I thought he would run from that motherfucking coochie, but and turns out he don't want it. He was sodomizing. Gabrielle Zuniga, get your money. You know what I mean? Get your money. These niggas gonna say all type of shit. Why? Because in the background, behind the scenes, they doing the same old shit. Sodomizing. Really want a nigga. You know what I mean? You get no pleasure from treating that thing like that. Let's be honest. Let's just be real, bro. She screaming, oh, man, come on, bro. Come on, man. The tape flowing around. The tape flowing around, bro. If you anybody, they got the tape. You know what I mean? Yeah, they selling the tape for $59.95. Nigga, I ain't got it. I don't want to see it. Why? I don't want to see that gay ass. I don't want to see no man or fucking. You know what I mean? Come on, man. That's, you niggas are weak for that shit. You weak. You know, very weak. I want to see my favorite celebrity fucking. Man, get the fuck out of here with that weak ass shit. Scars from the playground, bro. Y'all like, share, subscribe. We going up. It's that way. You know what I mean? It's that way. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's north, bro. Next month, you know what? You'll see all type of things. Like I said, give me 3 months. Give me 3 months, I'm a stunt. You know what I mean? I'm popping, I'm never stopping, bro. Scars from the playground, drop it in the comments, man. Peace. Dababy releasing a new mixtape with Sauce Walka. Yeah, look, Albert was in Charlotte, in the streets of Charlotte. He ran into Dababy, you know what I mean? Dababy say they gonna get in there. Look, bro, all that shit was cap. All that shit is just for the camera, you know what I mean? The man is doing the same thing he accused Sina Atari of. He's using that money, spreading it out, trying to make it like he has a rap career. And I know a lot of people gonna say, bro, you hating on old Sauce. Bro, look at the video. Dababy big dogged him. Yeah, Dababy big dogged that man. Let's just be honest, bro. You gotta know what the energy looks like. Dababy big dogged him, treating him like nothing, treating him like he was just a bag. You know what I mean, bro? If you want to be treated like that, it means that much to you that you gonna sell your morals and principles for it and take that type of energy, bro. You exactly what they calling you, fam. Let's just be real. MC Gusto, J Money did that. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got that from J Money, bro. Go ahead and pay homage. I'ma just be honest. I'ma just be real. This ain't on no I hate Albert campaign. I ain't on that, you know what I mean? But you gotta call it like it is, bro. When you see that energy and you see that man, he tried to call Cena Authority out for the same thing, bro. You using that OnlyFans, that zesty OnlyFans money. You know what I mean? Yeah, the same shit Blicker was talking about. Y'all go look up Blicker and see what Blicker was talking about Albert, bro. It'll bring a lot of clarity to that situation. You know what I mean? Real shit. I think Albert once called that man dad. You know, drop it in the comments, bro. I don't want to be misinformed, but Blicker was on a exposed Albert Walker mission before his untimely death, and it was a car wreck before the conspiracy started. You know what I mean? But look here, bro. The baby say they dropping a mixtape. The baby could rap. Yeah, that little bitch could rap. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give him that. But him and Albert, low bro, you could try to get an algorithm as much as you want, bro. But hip hop ain't like that, man, nigga. You ain't gonna get it, cause you ain't got it, my nigga. It's in you, not on you, bro. But for you, Albert, it's the other way around, bro. It's the other way around, and you trying to buy your way, bro. You still the same little short nigga, 5-foot tree that needs touching the miller. You know what I mean? Your knees touching the miller, fam, and your ankles don't look right. That's the nigga you are, and all your tattoos. Scratches, scratch. You can't even make them out, bro. Let's just be honest. You using that munyon to try to look like you're something, and them people are big dogging you. They got that big dog energy with you. Like, this man is just this man. You know what I mean? Drop it in the comments, bro. Scores from the playground.
If they throw it, I'ma catch it to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rap, people tell me I'm a clipper. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the chill, it gotta be about business. Big